pressed it. It's live now.
Okay, go for it. I just need to see it.
Baby, yes, I smoke that heavy J. Never get out to bonus up. No, I got a medicate.
See my legs.
Pull me up and sit back.
You see my legs.
Just I'm talking about me. Sit back and like I let them hit. Riding around with that big old pound and I ain't talking table cakes. I'm claiming that you trying to fake this weight will make your body shake. Begging, pleading, fun, now they rumbling. Has a body quick for Pete's sake. Please take that sin, baby. Has the highest rate. They didn't let me sit. Now they really gon' feel the hate. How you looking up, talking down? Now that really must be a disgrace. They say revenge is sweet. Baby, tell me now how this tastes. I'm up, ain't no coming down. Think that they gon' stop me how?
You got it?
Knocked it out the park, you know I knocked it out the town. Said baby, go give me my crown. Said baby, know what's going down. Bitch, I know you hear this sound, your nigga down. You bitches count, they think that I don't see the frown. Every time I'm coming round, they started the baby, now they checking. That's the ultrasound. Can't hear the hate, you hear my mom to tell me to hold it down. I'm paying bills and serving meals. I'm super true, they know the real. You can feel the energy flying up off me. I get these niggas boosted very easy, like some strong coffee. Like caffeine, got them addicted, said I'm sweet just like toffee. Say he never seen a chick that's so smooth and so flossy. But let me calm down unless y'all want to turn and heat up. And so just give me 3 to make it hot so I can heat up. Using no utensils, I can really chop the heat up. Think that I'm in out my body. Ain't nothing for me to re-up these bitches.
Yeah, that's it.
Average like double D cups. That nigga can't be rolling. I ain't never thrown no seeds up. I'm teed up,
put it up.
running to the roof. I'm sitting with my feet up. I mess that y'all stress mad as hell, cause they cannot keep up. They say I move too fast. I guess it's time for me to speed up. Say they married today. Pray to God they got a prenup. Got a couple ways to make a nigga wanna leave you. Ain't even going full fledged. Just right here is just a preview. They trying to get me hand up.
You gotta make it on. You gotta do all 3 of us.
All of my own, your actions, I do not condone. Don't wanna stay in the chocolate, then I'ma treat you like you know my words. Glad it's home and I gotta stick it to your dome. One bad move, I'ma keep shooting. I'ma watch her mind your bro.
You gotta pull it out.
Them my own her door before she make me to make it. And then you'll snatch her home. Only time I'm saying this, don't be them my own her door before she make me to make it. To get a clear picture, delete negatives like a Polaroid. I finally see that this shit is moving, a nigga overjoyed. Niggas keep on playing, I'm over toys. I'm more mature, I'm fucking these bitches around at the round. I'm sure they saw. They keep telling me they love the way I spit, gotta get them more. They figuring I ran out of bars. No, I got a lot of stuff for sure. I can catch the beat and kill it, that's a body bag. And please don't get me angry if I feel get your body dragged. In the basement, put that body in the trash. Calculated how to clean it up, that's the aftermath. She wanna meet up and hang like it's after class, but I don't beg with you. You host with you niggas too, you know.
Right.
I just see myself and I know you see this.
Yeah, you just got it.
Get to less, you know.
All right. It's a little. It's you just got to straighten it up a little bit. Yep. Okay. I think that's cool. Where you going, honey? You come on.
Some Epsom salt.
I told him to relax last night, but I'm sure he didn't. I'm sure he was out. Oh, you can't even put a sneaker on. You got your snacks?
That's the water and the cookie.
Watch your thing. And then you got to set. You're going to have to do another one, Preem. Because he got to set his up. You got song.
I put it in the you want it?
We want it, right?
You want it? You got give it a minute because something's got to pan into some things. We doing it a little different.
Move over?
No, we good. We good. You always want more. I'm in.
I guess you scared to come closer.
I'm in. Oh my God, because I'm trying to let our get it toward our guest. Really?
Why you can't sit right here then?
She wanted me here. I was there.
What's wrong with me right here?
He could get right there if you want to do it. Come with the music. You want to sit over here, David?
No, I thought I was sitting here.
Y'all figure out how y'all want to sit.
You can sit right there. I'll sit right here. You can sit right there if you want.
It don't matter. Where you want to sit?
I don't want you on the spot. I'm learning something.
You learning something too.
Let that shit do it for them.
All right, that's cool. Yeah. Okay, that one's good. You still gotta set your shit up.
I ain't got shit to prove, but I got shit to lose, so I can go right now. But if y'all make the rules and they broke, I did too late. He let that shit go like a bomb. So they got me so y'all must have too big body for y'all better stop playing. Once I get in my mood and my own work with food, they keep saying they want to see me boom. But don't get it, cause it's a bitch party. Just for the top of them babies, I guess. Get a check from the phone, that's true. And you know where that's going, that's straight to my shoes. And just beat me here free, really nice in the studio. You ain't getting
What you doing?
my name if it's true, I don't bang with you if you a fake or a fool. Smoking at a young age, this is true, but I can't give up dick, I'm in love with the boo. Mama say that I stink, I can't give it the bank, cause I love the perfume in my room. Chicks I check who is next, tell them give me that next, and you love me, you gon' have to prove. Tell me I gotta watch what I say, but I'm watching, I write down like 10 every day. I don't sound like nobody, so stop trying to rub me.
You good? Miss Patrick. Miss Patrick. Miss Patrick.
Yeah, I'm still trying to talk.
You paying no third? You can see it, it's good? Okay. Hey, what is you doing?
You know I'm packing them. Roll up that package then.
Oh, it did?
You were just slacking there.
Yeah, but it's just on me.
But there ain't no traffic there. Bitches rocking my moves, imitating my moves. Sometimes I feel like losing my cool. I ain't got shit to prove.
What?
I got shit to prove, so I can't go around acting a fool. But if you're rich, you was gonna be broke at the
Alright.
and he let that shit go as a boom.
Yeah, I'm at the Cream gonna have to hit it. You gotta hit two.
Bitches rocking my moves.
We ready?
Put it on lock.
All right,
I ain't got
hit
shit
it.
to prove, but I got shit to lose, so I can't go around acting a fool. But if y'all rich, you was gonna be broke at the tool and he
You can
let
hit
that
it.
shit go like a boom. Somebody come in and
You can hit mine too.
say too big body for y'all better stop playing. And I'm wishing, but I am not Kazan. Cook this shit up without a frying pan. Put the scripts on my direct this shit, but I'm new enough to be cast as an X-Men.
Good.
And then I'm smooth walking.
I don't have to look at that, right?
Ain't about.
You got a cup? You want some water?
I got that.
We good. What you need?
What's that? That's
Don't even worry about it. Let me know when you're ready, Cream. We good. Everybody's good. Everybody good? Now I gotta read your stuff. Everybody's waving. Hey, y'all. I wish I could see all y'all names. What? Huh? I know the girls wanted to come out. You just make sure you keep all your stuff wrapped up. You've been exposed before. Had me looking at you sideways. I was like looking like this. One eye closed, one eye. Okay, hold on. Just wait. Just wait, Hamid. Just wait. Just wait. Just wait. Just wait. That's because you. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, once he pans back this way, because or he could do it right now. If he leave it right in there, he could do it right now. If he leaves, oh, you can open the door. You gotta leave it right there, but leave the light on and leave it right there.
Oh, you got one right there.
Yeah, but I didn't want nobody to see what was it, because it ain't set up in there like the way it's supposed to be. You got to keep it back because it's going to make noise. All right, everybody. Hi, everybody. We're trying to get ourselves situated.
Why is yours in black and white? Oh, you got viewers who coming in.
Why is mine in black and white? That's a good question. You the one to push the button.
Is this good?
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, y'all. Sorry we so ratchet. Hey. Hey.
It might be alright, black and white.
Oh, okay. I like to live in color.
Can y'all feel
I like the little
Yes.
feel it.
Okay, so hello everyone. Thank you for joining. We're gonna add a new feature to our podcast, and that's gonna be our new artist of the month. You've been listening to music from the new artists. Actually, you've been listening. The intro song that we've been playing since this podcast started has been by this new artist, and now we're going to feature all of her music for the month of June, right, Preem?
Yeah.
So now, Preem, we're going to pan over to Preem, and he's going to let y'all know about this new and upcoming artist. Y'all check it out. Yep. The door.
As y'all can see, coming straight from Jersey. She's one of the hottest coming out right now. She in Florida?
She's residing in Florida now.
She's doing her thing in Florida right now. We're going to be playing her music throughout the month. And she's our artist of the month. Listen up.
All right. Thank you, Preem, for giving us. And what's the name again of this artist?
It's Sin Baby.
It's Sin Baby. Y'all check her out. Now, where can they find her
You
music?
can find her on SoundCloud, YouTube. It's a couple of different platforms. And on Instagram, you can follow her. Her name is Sin Baby on everything, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
And it's ITSSYNBA. No. Okay, you spell it.
Yeah, BBY. So that's ITSSYNBBY.
It's Sin Baby. Okay, check it out. Now, Shakira, you're going to give us our mission statement. You guys know Shakira from all of our shows. She's going to tell you our mission statement to let you know why we are here doing this for free. All of us coming together to give you the information that you need at no charge to you. Go, Miss Patrick.
Focusing on the legal system as an impact to infiltrate our everyday existence. The mission is to free our minds through sharing knowledge and experiences in order to promote awareness, inspiration, and self-love.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And you're looking quite delicious today, girl.
Thank you.
Now, we got a special treat for you today. Sultan, can you pan on into us? As you see, I'm sitting here with someone you never seen before, and Hamid is here on the end. And we have, I don't like the stuff on the left. Bring it back. Too much stuff on the left. Too much stuff. Bring it back. Tell you when to stop. Okay. That's cool. Now, when you cool down, I want that door closed. Can you hear the fan? Because we got a fan going on, y'all, because it's hot in here. But if it's in the way, we're going to close the door and be hot for y'all. That's what we're going to do. So, all right. So let's close the door because y'all need to know all of this information. Because David, who I'm going to introduce you to in a minute, knows all about credit. We talked about landlord-tenant things on our last 2 episodes. And he's going to tell us what we need to know about credit and how it impacts our lives and how important it is. But first, I got to introduce myself. My name is Cynthia Hardaway. I'm a practicing attorney in New Jersey. And I'm the co-host of this show, Beyond Reasonable Doubt podcast series. And my co-host, Hamid.
Thank you for saying my name, Hamid.
Hamid, tell them how we met so they'll know why we're so linked, joined at the hip, me and you, forever.
I met Cynthia probably about 19 years ago.
Jesus, too much.
You said?
Go ahead.
I was 19. I'm 38 right now.
Okay.
And I went through my little street experience, and I ran into her when she was an upcoming attorney. Me and my brother and I introduced her to a lot of other clients that she represented.
No names mentioned.
Yeah, no names. And from there, it's been a bond since.
And they were, the twins were my first clients. And they both are doing very well now. Humble guys. I love them both. They're like my little bigger brothers.
Went from nephews.
You keep talking. He want to put me in the auntie category. All right, fine, no problem. Now, before we get to David, because David is my dear friend. We went to law school together.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Yes.
Yeah, that's cool.
And he's knowledgeable in the area of Well, tell them what your pedigree is. Introduce yourself to the guest and let them know what it is that you do, David.
Okay. My name is David Chapman. I'm a practicing attorney here in New Jersey. Prior to law school, I was a certified public accountant. That's a CPA for short. And I was licensed in Pennsylvania. Went to law school and then worked for a big, back then they were called Big Six accounting firm. They're down to 4. They're international. It's a multi-billion-dollar accounting firm. I did corporate tax at that firm, and real estate and construction firms, some other type work, consulting work. From there, I went to what's called the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants, and after a couple years, I went out on my own in 2001. So I've been self-employed since 2001 with a accounting tax practice, and on top of that, practicing law.
So you're an accountant separate from being a lawyer.
Yes.
Okay, so he's an accountant, y'all, and he's a lawyer. That means he's real smart. So listen to everything that he has to tell you today, because he's going to...
I do not practice heavy criminal. She does the heavy work. Cases I got heavy, I send to her.
You like me.
Little...
we should be... I should
fourth
be...
degree, third degree.
I should be doing you, and you should be doing me. Because I'm the one... I shouldn't be in this criminal field, but here I am. But I'm sure that you had a lot of war stories in accounting, tax, lawyering world too, right?
Yes.
And I know you also do real estate because you helped me get my house.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
So he's multi-talented and he multitasks, and he's going to help you, give you the information that you need today, and he's going to do it free of charge. Now, before we start, you know I got to run my mouth for one hot second. I do. And this is what we talked about, isms. Hamid does not. Why you don't like isms? Just say it. Why you don't like it?
Don't make sense to me.
Irresponsible.
Let's see if he...
Okay. Irresponsible social. What did I say it was? Media?
Social.
Messaging. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you get it, right?
Yes.
Irresponsible social messaging. He said again. Don't try to tell. Whoa.
No, but listen to the word that she using. Isms.
ISM. I get it.
ISM. So let's just call it ISM.
Yeah.
Okay.
I prefer that.
What's wrong with ism?
It's ghetto. It's like ism.
Well, we ratchet as hell up in here. Ain't you been at the podcast for the
it don't make sense to me. I'd rather you just say that.
Oh, he don't want. Okay, ISM. Let's be sophisticated up in here. Y'all see how y'all checking out? What is it? Twin Reed Street. Y'all hear him? He don't want to be ghetto. Okay. So we'll call it ISM. So here I got one for today, because you weren't here before, David, but we were talking about all the. I'm the only one actually who is raised in ISM. Everybody else just listens to me run my mouth and jump off the bridge. They don't even try to save me. But I'm about to do it again. This is for the families, the loved ones of the people who get locked up. This ISM is for you. When your loved one, your son, your baby, your husband, your fiance, your boo, whoever is locked up,
Your brother,
your nephew, all of that, or if it's a female, but usually it's the male, so that's why I'm using the masculine terms. If they get locked up and call you from jail, stop asking them what happened, because it tells you on the call that this is being monitored and recorded. Hello? This is being monitored and recorded. So that means what? What does that mean, Hamid? Do you know what it means when they say?
I'm familiar with that telephone.
Okay, so assume that you were back in the day, you don't do it no more, and you had your phone call and you called someone. Who would you call if you had to call someone?
Anybody I could vent to. If it was my brother, my cousin, and I tell them exactly what happened.
Wait, so hold on. It's because you, when you're locked up, you feeling some type of way. You want to vent.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So say for instance, you're making the call and you call me, not your lawyer. Say for instance, you just calling me. So we're gonna do a little skit because this is very. Call auntie. Why I can't be the big sister? Why? Okay, call auntie. Call auntie. Auntie sent.
Yeah, auntie sent.
Call auntie and let's do this skit. See how this plays out. Go ahead. You locked up? What you locked up for? Just let them know. I don't know yet.
We'll
say drugs. Keep it safe.
Yeah.
All right. Make the call.
Pick up.
Well, first of all, hello.
Hey, auntie sent.
Wait. First, we gotta get the thing. What's the thing that they say before they ask me if I'm accepting the call? Who knows that? I know you know that.
Yeah.
Come on, Shakira. Don't you get that call every once and again? What they say? What they say before I accept the call?
This call is monitored, being monitored, and
Recorded.
And then they say push the button if you want to accept the call.
But each one is different.
Push number
Depending
5.
or
If
the
you wanna
county is
accept
0.
Right. But in general, they tell you again, you're being monitored, record, and push the button. So I push the button. Hey nephew, what's up?
Hey auntie, I need help. You think you could bail me out?
What, you locked up?
Yeah, I just called you collect.
Well, you say, wait, hold up. Yeah. I'm sorry, baby. I just woke up. I just woke up, but wait a minute. You need help. What you mean you need help? You know the new bail reform. I can't help you.
Yeah, but I need a lawyer. I need help. I got arrested for drugs.
So you want me to call you a lawyer, try to find you a lawyer?
Well, let me tell you what happened though.
Well, okay, what happened?
I was walking down the street and some guy came and asked me for some drugs. What you doing, auntie? Why you making all that noise?
Cause then you just hear them say we were monitored and recorded. Why did you tell me about the facts of your case?
But I want you to still understand what.
But I understand all that. But didn't you hear what they say?
Yeah,
monitored.
But they not listening.
How you know if they're listening?
They just faking.
All right, go ahead, baby. Tell me your story.
Nah, never mind. I don't want to tell you.
Okay. Good answer. So now listen. And I say this because it's not the person that's locked up. It's the family members, the friends, the loved message to the person locked up that they can speak on this by simply asking what happened. Stop asking what happened. It's not important what happened right now, because the fact of the matter is they locked up, and 9 times out of 10, once you're locked up, you got to go through the process. So if they tell you what happened, it ain't helping them get out of jail that night.
You're incriminating yourself.
But it provides more evidence for the state because, and I've seen this happen time and time again, whenever it gets crucial, the state will go and listen to those recordings and see if the person on the other end incriminated themselves.
What do you mean it gets crucial?
Meaning, say for instance, I represent a client and the evidence is weak, and I got a good motion to suppress or something, and I could fight the case. Now it's crucial because the state is on notice that, hey, you know, our case is not so good. Let's check the phones and see what he says. And you don't know how many times it's somebody asking him what happened, or saying, I told you to stay in the house last night. You always out on some BS. Was you high? All of these questions elicit information that this person should not be saying on these recorded, monitored phones. It's just that simple. So for you, this is the ISM. For you family members, I know you all love your relatives. I get that. But please be mindful. You're not helping them in a situation like that, because once they're locked up, 9 times out of 10, they're going through the process. Whether they're innocent, whether they just was caught up in the wrong situation, all of that. So don't encourage them to speak, because as Hamid just said, your first couple of phone calls, you're gonna want to vent, cause you probably feeling like what you feel like.
No, you want to just get your story out, because nobody to really tell but to call somebody and tell them exactly what happened. And sometimes you're not even conscious enough to say, damn, we all go past that recording. You don't even care about what that say. You just like, man, I'm still gonna tell my story. Thinking
that you're not being recorded. Like that applies to everybody else except me. But it applies to you too. So please, family members, if your loved ones, relatives, or whomever are locked up and still try to speak to you, hang up. Hang up. Let them call back. Explain to them you're being recorded and monitored. And if they say, oh, no, I just want... No. You're being recorded and monitored. I'm going to come visit you. Then you could tell me what it is that you want to tell me. And I'm saying this as a defense because, David, you know, I practice criminal defense in New Jersey. And it makes your defense lawyer, it makes their job harder when you have these after the fact jailhouse confessions. And stop thinking that you're talking in code and you're going to get over. That does not work either, because your code can also be interpreted by the state to mean that you are telling on yourself.
Even when their interpretation could be way off.
Correct.
The way they're going to explain it is, if the jury believe it, they're going to convince them to believe it.
Right. Because what else can you say? They're going to say they have the expertise, and so this is code. Not you girls out there who the fiance, boo, the one on the side, the main, like all of that. When y'all get on the phone, also I know a lot of times you're going to be the one that he will talk to most beyond the mother and the auntie. Please do not allow that conversation to happen. If for whatever reason they want to talk, hang up. Let the conversation happen another day after they're not as wound up about being locked up. What were you going to say, Shakira?
Even being an inmate with your cellmate, you don't realize that you don't know what this is.
Oh yeah, you tell him your
situation.
Your
not
information.
To share your case with him, because if he needs to catch a break,
I seen that
he's going to
too.
say something, and there's because you wanted to vent. Now he got all your information. Now he's going to get cut short because he got some information
On you.
You know.
Good point. I don't know if everybody heard that clearly. Also, with the people who are your cellmates, your boys who are locked up with you, that goes for this is not an ISM, but it's a message for those who are locked up. Consider your surroundings and just don't talk about your business and tell everything to people who you think you may trust, because when people are locked up, things change. Okay, so now that I got that out the way, David, here's a question that I received as a result of our last podcast. Does your eviction go on your credit?
The landlord has the right to put it on the credit report. Most landlords subscribe to a service for receiving your credit report. They check your credit before extending you a lease, we'll say. Mm-hmm. So those landlords that are tied to that, they could put it on your credit report for late payments, and obviously for no payment for eviction.
You mean they can put on your credit that you don't pay your rent on time?
Yes.
Wow. And when you say, okay, so explain because I know from my own personal situations that there's 3 credit bureaus.
Yes.
Can you explain to everybody what the 3 are and what that actually means?
Okay, so there's the credit scores are called FICO, which is a long time ago someone created the Fair Isaac. It's a corporation, Fair Isaac Corporation, designed a model for evaluating people's credit and gave a score to it.
Okay.
So then you have the 3 credit bureaus, have to remember them. There's
Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax.
and
I know.
They all use a different model for your scores. Some are harder than the other ones. Typically, when they evaluate your credit, they look at the 3 scores and take the middle score. So
They average it out.
they won't
Or they
average it
take-
out. They'll
oh.
literally take the middle score.
What's the purpose of the
Oh.
middle school?
It's between the low and the highest.
Yeah, it's just a low and a high.
So just keep it average in the middle.
Yeah, they won't take the highest and they won't take the lowest. They'll take what's in the middle.
Yes, but it's not an average. It's one
Average would be considered the middle, right?
average would be considered the middle. But let's take the 3: the Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. If Equifax comes in with a score that's in between the other 2, they'll just take the Equifax one. TransUnion sometimes have a different one. That's in the
What
middle.
if that's the better score than the low and the high?
Well, it's the one in the middle. It's not so much that it's better. They just look at it that way. It's just an industry practice, as it's called, pretty much. That you just take the middle one and accept that as not so much an average, but a representation of this person's spending habits. Because that's what a credit score really reflects.
Spending.
And what's going to be on the, other than the eviction, now you say on eviction it could be that you got evicted, that could be reported.
Right.
That you late with your rent, that could be reported.
Yes.
And that, of course, if you don't pay at all, which usually results into the end of an eviction.
Correct.
Okay. So tell everybody what are some things that will be on the credit report and some things that they don't have to worry about being on the credit report.
Okay. That unpacks a lot. So things you, let's look at it this way. Things that are on a credit report or let's go all the way back. What's credit? Credit is an extension of the use of money that you don't have with the expectation from that entity that you will pay it back.
And when you say the entity, you're talking about whoever issues the credit card, like Capital One. You guys know Capital One, and your bank may have a credit card. Like I know Wells Fargo
Or your
has.
cell phone.
Yeah.
Your cell phone extends credits.
Oh, okay.
If you are, most of us pay 1 month in advance, but the reality is some people are paying, like the phone you have today, you see they say you can pay it over 24 months. Well, that's extending you credit to pay that cell phone over those 2 years.
But if you pay it before the 2 years, it make you look a little bit better.
Yes, it would show that it does make you look better. It represents that you're willing to pay off your debts earlier than when due.
But maybe not the phone bill. Maybe that would be more just like your regular credit card.
You're better off doing it with your credit card because then that makes your score go higher. Your cell phone is...
But paying cash don't make it go already?
well,
I pay my cell phone bill in advance, or
that will not help your credit
contract?
score, paying it in advance. So if you... what month are we in? We're in June. If you pay July and August bill already, by cash, it doesn't up your score. It just shows on your credit report that you're paying on time.
Okay.
That's the problem. So paying on time keeps your score good or helps raise it over a long period of time. If you have, they want to see that you have more than 12 months of paying on time, your credit card, your cell phone bill, your rent. Those are what you call extension of credit.
Your car payment.
Your car payment, those always show up. Your car
But do you
payments.
really need credit?
Yes, he's about to tell you why. And I see his he got notes, y'all.
Yeah,
that means
that's
he
wrong.
researched this. But let me just say this, and you tell me if I'm wrong. It doesn't go on your credit report until it's 30 days, for the most part, 30 days late.
After 30 days being late.
All right. So say, for instance, you have a car payment, and it's due on we'll say
First
the
of the
10th.
month. Okay.
Okay, whatever.
10th.
Okay.
Go with the 10th.
It's due on the 10th. You don't pay it on the 10th. You don't pay it on the 15th. You don't pay it on the 20th. But you pay it on the 29th. Chances are that's not going to hit your credit report as a late payment.
For a car payment, yes.
For a car payment.
A credit card, it will show up.
Okay.
That's the problem. So a credit card, you just missed it. It can be any reasons. Then it will show up. You can call your credit card company and ask for a little relief. or some other reasons that kept you from that, outside of just didn't have the money, then there's a chance they'll wipe it clean.
Okay.
And not report it. So,
And
or wipe it off the credit
For
report.
credit cards, they also show when you have a late payment as no, I'm sorry, when you have an overage. When you don't pay, when you go over your balance.
When you go over your credit limit.
Right, your credit limit.
So a credit card will give you, if you start out with, if you take a person fresh out of college, they typically extend somebody somewhere between $300 to $500 of credit.
Now is this, and it's typically for someone who's fresh out of high school but goes to work immediately as well? Do they get extended credit?
Yes.
Okay,
18 and over.
And all right, so listen, and I want him to talk about this because I want y'all to know, you young folks, how to get y'all credit started ahead of time instead of trying to figure it out when you're in your 20s and 30s and 40s when you're trying to do something more with your life. But 18 is when they start to when your credit starts to become significant.
Right, so under contract law, anyone under 18, a contract signed by anyone under 18 doesn't have to be considered valid by the person that's under 18. Mm-hmm. So if I'm 17 years old and you extend me credit and I sign for it and I don't pay it, there's nothing you who extended the credit could do to me because I wasn't of age anyway to understand the problems this will cause me. However, once you're 18, you're considered a valid adult with the understanding of all the laws and the issues that credit could cause or how it helps you. So
and it attaches automatically with your social security number.
Correct.
So you don't have to call somebody up and say, open up my credit. It's already there. And it's associated with your social security number. So as soon as you young folks, as soon as you turn 18, whether you go to college or whether you go straight and get a job, that's when you should start building your credit.
You should start right away.
Do you prefer to give that kind of advice to a younger person that's coming out of high school to opposed to somebody that's in their 24, 25? When you give them the advice at that age to oppose to 18 because they're more irresponsible?
No, but that's the whole point of trying to gain knowledge and comports with our mission statement. You start at 18. Don't wait until you're 20, 30, 40 to start worrying about your credit. Understand that what you do in your life at 18 and up will start to impact upon you immediately. So for all y'all parents out, y'all trifling ass parents, and I'm gonna take my candy because I know I cursed. Okay, fine. For y'all trifling ass, okay, 2. For y'all trifling parents out there who put, I ain't gonna say y'all trifling. I don't know what you're going through. Let me take that back because we're supposed to be positive. But when y'all go and put the PSCNG and all that under your baby's name because you done messed up your own situation, I'm looking side eye over here. You understand that is following them, and when they become an adult, 18, they're going to have to deal with that.
So when you put the electric and gas bill, for those that are looking at this nationally, that's what PSCNG.
Oh yeah, electric and gas bill, and you don't pay it. So say for instance, I'm coming up, I'm struggling, and I know parents, we struggle. I'll be the first one to tell you because I done been through some shit. So, sorry. Y'all got, come on, y'all not even trying to stop me.
We're trying to listen to you.
Okay. So you might be tempted because you done messed up your own electric bill, utility bill, whatever. So you got your kid and you're like, okay, I'm just gonna put it in their name. Well, you already doing them a disservice because now they behind the 8 ball. Am I right, David?
Yeah. So, but let's stick with his point for a
okay.
second. Yeah. His point being, if you're irresponsible, if you do the ISM too much on finances.
Okay.
All right. Then it's best that you don't go and get the credit because, as he's saying, you'll abuse it. If you abuse the credit, then your credit score is going to be low.
No, not get the credit, but just be mindful of what you do. Say for instance.
But he's saying if you're irresponsible.
Okay. So say for instance you're 18, right? So you graduate from high school, and we're not even going to talk about college because I'm going to tell you, if you go to college, they throw them credit cards at you, don't they?
Yes, they do.
And I can tell you, I could attest, I took them all, and I maxed them all. I had no problem because I didn't know no better. I didn't know no better. But listen, so at 18, what I'm trying to say is don't go take all them credit cards, but just remember that whatever you do from that point forward may show up on your credit.
I think when you're young, at 18, even with you giving the advice to your child about the credit, they still lack. They're not responsible.
It depends on the kid because I got Sultan right here. Sultan listen to everything I tell him. He's 20.
At 18.
At 18.
He didn't make no mistakes from.
At 18. Financially, I'm sure he made a lot of mistakes. Probably some I don't even know about. Yeah. But at 18, he understood the value of money, and he understood the value of credit. And that's all my kids. I ain't even gonna just say Sultan. All my kids know because I explained it to them. It wasn't explained to me. So I was just like, oh, y'all giving me some free. Oh, I can go to the mall.
It's the same thing with a parent telling her son, don't go outside and mess around with them drugs, because this was going to happen. They still go out there and still.
Not all of them. Not all
of them.
Majority of them
do. Majority.
Okay, so now we trying. This
I'm
brings
not discouraging.
No. This brings us back to our mission, because from my point of view, as long as we tell you, you're going to make your own decision. But the worst part is that we don't tell you, and you don't even know to make the decision. So that's where we're at, right, David?
Right, but let's explain
so
a few things.
Let him finish talking.
Yeah, go ahead. We ain't gonna interrupt. Whoop. Just gonna sip my lips.
She's gonna need more candy because she will interrupt. However,
we don't get candy for interrupting. We get candy for cursing.
I was gonna make you curse.
Drink your juice.
So if you're 18 and irresponsible, he has a point of saying you shouldn't take the credit because you'll mess up. If you mess up your credit score early, then trying to get an apartment, they're going to look at your credit score. They're going to say, why should I give you an apartment if you can't handle this little bit of credit card money? Or a car, they're going to give you a high interest rate. So let's talk about credit and what interest rates mean. When they extend you credit and say, we're giving you money to buy goods and services with the credit card, that generally means spend it. For good credit, they want you to use no more than a third of the amount given to you. So if someone gives you $300 of credit, they're expecting that only on a monthly basis you'll use no more than $100 and then pay that off.
Pay that off when?
Every month.
By the end of the end of the 30 days.
End of the 30 days. So if your billing period, my Capital One card is the 15th of the month. And you know, you just get used to having to pay a bill. So I know on the 15th of the month, I need to pay it. If I can pay it in full, I typically pay it in full. If you can't pay it in full, then you're using your credit. It shows up on your credit report. This person spent $100, only paid $25. Now they have a balance of $75. And they look at that revolving credit and see if it keeps creeping up. Then they're saying, uh-oh, he doesn't know how to manage his finances, the person, her finances, his finances. So
that was and I'm looking at your notes. So you have 4 types of credit. So what you just discussed was the revolving credit, which would be the credit card.
Well, charge cards, revolving. I like to explain it differently. We did service contracts, which are a cell phone. That's the easiest one to explain.
Okay.
Installment credit could be for your house or an apartment. All right, that's a contract that's more than 12 months long. So the expectation is you're buying this over a period of time, like a vehicle, a car. Charge cards, let's go to charge cards and accounts. That's more like a credit card, like Macy's. Macy's always wants to give you a credit card or any other store, and they hope you use it, and they hope you abuse it. The interest rates are always 18%.
Or more.
That's $18 off of every 100?
$18 off of every 100 you borrow, they're charging you just for borrowing that money. So that's why it's hard to pay off a credit card. They say it could take you 9 years if you just make a minimum payment for that $100 you borrow. Because they'll set the minimum payment at $10, but they're charging you $18. and that $10 doesn't cover the 18 they charge. Now your credit went from 100 to 108, and your balance keeps creeping up, and you're saying, well, I'm paying a minimum. And that's how they drag you in. And then someone's going to say, oh, we like this kind of customer. Someone else will start extending your credit and credit. Before you know, you're overextended. When you're overextended, then typically we get a call, attorneys, to help you with dealing with the collections. We all know we don't like hearing a collection call, whether it's your
and he do
utilities.
bankruptcies too. David, what's your office number?
732-921-2161. I got back into bankruptcy because of my tax clients. I would refer them out, and there were some issues with attorneys handling their bankruptcies. So I learned that during law school from an internship, and now I'm back into doing that.
And can we rep our law school?
Yeah, Rutgers Law School in Newark, New Jersey.
That's where you went to?
Yes, I did.
Yes. She was 1 year ahead of me, but we both went full time.
How the hell was I 1 year ahead of you? Oh,
I worked
I thought
for
you went night school.
No, I went day school. I tell you what I did.
Yeah, I was pregnant in law school. I had 2 babies in law school, just to let you know that.
Yeah.
Just to let you know that you can always accomplish what it is that you want to accomplish. You don't have to, and I'm sorry, give me another piece of candy for interrupting, but you do not have to let anything stand in your way to getting what you want to get. I like all of them.
You don't like now, ladies.
Oh, this the mystery now, ladies. I like that. You like this? You like this fake?
Nasty candy.
It ain't no nasty candies.
You don't buy nasty candy.
No, it's no nasty candies. Well, the only one that I don't have. If y'all want, okay,
That's what you get.
whatever. I don't even know what is the candy. Oh, you know what I don't like? If you want to be mean to me, I don't know why they all ganging up on me. But if y'all want to be mean to me, I don't like no white chocolate.
Right.
It's nasty. You like white chocolate?
No.
Who like white chocolate? You
Let's
like?
get to the
I
point.
know you like white chocolate.
Your point was that before she interrupted was what?
I'm sorry. Where were we? The 4 types of credit.
All right,
And we
so
were talking.
charge cards.
And then I said, let's rep our law school. And then you start talking about.
We did service contracts, installment credit, charge cards, and then revolving credit is a hybrid of a credit card. So it doesn't have to be tied to a particular store or a particular service. It could be the bank extending you revolving credit, saying here's $1,000 in credit.
That's like a credit line.
A credit line. So revolving credit is more like a credit line that you can use, and it doesn't expire as long as you maintain good habits of paying it off.
Thank you for the person, and I can't see you out there because I can't see.
Because they on mine too.
No, this same person right here.
Yeah.
Who are? No, it's not right here.
It's at the bottom, and it's at the bottom.
Oh yes, there you are. Let me see. What's your name? You joined us.
Could you put your glasses on?
I don't have no darn glasses. It's the type. The type is so small. The girl. I think it's a girl. Girl, thank you, because I can't read. I can't read you.
Her name
But thank you.
Elise.
Thank you, Elise, for joining. Thank you for actually joining on the BYRD. It's BYRD podcast. Because we're trying to get more traction over there for our podcast, because we want everybody to come. Not that we're taking away from Twin Reed over here.
Yes, we are.
He wants y'all to go to BYRD podcast. Y'all do it next time. You ain't got to do it right now. Just stay with us. Go ahead, David. Let me take my candy because I interrupted again.
Yeah, you slow in the process.
I can't. What you mean? He'll come. Will you come? If I slow it up too much, you'll come back?
Yeah, I'll come back. Yeah.
See?
Just because we know each other for a long time.
See, he gonna come back. He gonna give y'all all the information. You should thank me. He only got 12 minutes left? I don't even believe that.
Yeah, credit's a long
You wanna come back next Sunday?
Do it.
Next Sunday I'll be in California.
Oh, can I tell you?
Add a
Can I talk
15-minute
about this?
extension. Sure. Just add an extension.
Yeah, okay, we're going to add an extension because we want David to get to the bulk of it. We keep interrupting him because that's just what I do. Thank you. I can't read, and I'm afraid to touch the darn thing because...
Don't say you can't read.
No, I can't read the small print. I could read. Obviously, I could read them. All my clients out there, I could read, y'all. What the... I is smart. I is what is it? What is that? Did y'all watch The Help? What?
You are smart. You are beautiful.
No, you gotta say it the way it is. You trying to be all grammatically correct. You is smart. You is. We're gonna tell you what it is next time. But y'all, all of that. Now, come on, tell us about the credit. Let's go.
Yeah, stop.
I'm not gonna interrupt no more.
Well,
See?
This is how conversations go. Well, I usually interrupt her, but I'm trying to be good. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and he don't listen, but that's another story. Go ahead. And hello to David, his beautiful family, his wife and his 2 kids, both of them college. One a college grad or on the way.
One college grad.
And one goes to Stanford. Now I don't know if y'all know about Stanford, but that is a good school in California, and she is smart and beautiful, a beautiful black young Nubian queen, and she does. What does she do for sport?
Lacrosse.
She does lacrosse. And she goes to Stanford, and she's an A student. And what is she? She likes math, physics,
Engineering.
engineering.
And there's different types of engineering.
Yes. She's doing materials.
Y'all encourage y'all children.
I can't explain what my daughter's studying. She's a little too smart for my own good. So, but it's a blessing.
All right, can we? Let's get.
Okay, come on. We're gonna get back. We're gonna extend this a little bit more because I'm so excited. I'm so excited, people.
Come up with a question. You got a question on your mind?
No, but wait a minute. I want you to go through these. You told us 4 different types of credit. What's this? Advantages and disadvantages.
Yeah,
Okay.
Okay, slow down. So we talked about the 4 types.
How do you go about checking it?
Yeah.
Oh.
So looking up your credit score.
And then following from that, Preem, tell them on Hamid's question, if you've already messed up your credit, how you could go about trying to fix it. And then once you finish, I ain't going to interrupt you, but remember I had to fix mine, right?
Yes, fixing credit is going to be on the extension because that's another.
Is fixing credit easy for you?
Well, fixing credit is similar in any area of practicing law. There's some tedious work behind it. You just have to know how to handle it, and it's a process over a short period of time.
What's the hardest part of your task doing credit?
Task? Cleaning it up? Or?
Cleaning it up. What's the
Now you're
hardest
asking him, now do you personally, because I know there's credit repair companies out there.
Yeah, do you
personally do credit repair?
I know the process. I usually don't do it. I usually bring in someone that does it for me because it's a lot of phone call time.
I know how to do it. I'm gonna tell y'all how to do it. And so listen, I'm sorry. I'm gonna tell y'all how to do it because I'm not gonna put the heat on him because he works with people who get paid to do it, and y'all pay them a lot of money. But I'm gonna tell y'all how to do it yourself. But go ahead.
We're doing that on the extension.
Yeah.
All right. So basically,
part of the extension.
It's part of the extension.
Yeah, this is part of the
All right.
extension.
Basically, you'll see some misreporting on your credit, meaning, and we all had them, a landlord that decides to report you late when you doggone know it, you have your money order, because you know that's how we had to pay at the end of the day. But our money order receipt showing, hey, I did pay you on time. I handed you on this date. I got a receipt from you showing on this date why you report me late. And it's a lot of, as we know, landlords trying to get rid of tenants, especially if they're trying to raise a rent.
And that was part of our
conversation last time
on tenant and rent.
And keep your receipts. Remember that? Remember we said that, Hamid?
They could actually remove you from the apartment from paying late too frequently.
That's correct.
Yes.
It's in most leases if you are a repeat offender of paying late.
Habitual.
Habitual is a legal term.
Yes.
Then they have the right to remove you from the premises and take you for eviction, right to court for eviction.
And that shows up in your report too.
That shows up on your report. You don't want an eviction on your report. No one wants to give you a chance to get a mortgage, to get another.
This says, hell yeah, Cent. Wait, what kind of question is that? He said, hell yeah, Cent. Need that, do it yourself. Oh, y'all want that do it yourself? I'm going to give it to you. But I'm gonna let the guest, because they keep telling me I interrupt too much. But I'm gonna tell you exactly how to
explain how to fix credit.
I'm gonna tell you exactly how to do it because I did it.
Right,
so
no,
he said the advantages and disadvantages of credit. So tell them the importance. He's gonna tell you the importance of credit. You might not think it's important, you young folks out there. Tell them the importance of credit.
Yeah, I need to know because I really don't care for credit. I live by cash.
Our whole lives are dictated by credit today. We're in a digital age, so you go out and buy that car, which is on credit. The insurance company looks at your credit report. They look at your credit scores, and they determine how they're going to issue your insurance, what price you will receive based on your credit score.
And you don't have to come up with all that cash. So now see how you're a working man, right? Mm-hmm. So you get a dependable amount of money every week. Mm-hmm. You got other bills. Mm-hmm. So you might not have that cash. Your car break down today, you might not have the cash to go out and get you another car. So the credit, if you build your good credit, right?
Correct.
You don't need to go hustle up for that cash.
But I don't care to use it. I don't want to use nobody.
Well, that's just your own personal, but you have an option. Yeah, you have an option.
An unforeseen circumstance. You're going to need credit. You have to remember, it's a loan, though. Someone's giving you a loan,
borrowing money
to help you repair your problem. Yeah. So then you got to pay that money back. That's the biggest key. But
at the end of
interest,
and that's why you want to be on cash. But at the end of the day, if your stuff just break, did you go with me? Or was that Naeem? One of y'all went with me. Remember my car? Remember that Impala? Yeah. Remember that Impala that I was riding and something happened to it? Yeah. And I couldn't turn the steering. That wasn't even you. That was Naeem.
Okay.
I couldn't turn the steering wheel, so I couldn't, deal with the car. Me and him went there. He took me that day. I bought a car that day. And my credit wasn't A1 credit. And I want you to tell them about the different levels, how they grade your credit. But
he got first get past this advantage part.
I know, we're just giving examples. So at that time with my car,
they grade your credit based on history. It's based on your work history. If you've only been working for a year, your credit is not going to be that great. But if you show a work history, stable work history, which is difficult for us, but a stable work history.
When he means us as self-employed, me and him, because we both self-employed.
As minorities.
Yeah, that's
okay.
But let's be real. As minorities, it's difficult for us to show stable employment. So,
but let me just say, this show is all inclusive now. It's all inclusive.
It is all inclusive.
Okay, carry on.
Carry on.
Yes. So work history goes into your credit score. So if you stayed at the similar type of work, don't have to be at the same job. If you're working at FedEx and now you're at UPS, that's fine. And that shows some stability in the type of work you do. And over a long period of time, your credit score goes up. The same as using the credit, as I said, only using about a third of all the amount of credit being extended to you and paying it all on time, preferably reducing it down to zero within a 12-month period. The most difficult part of revolving credit. Remember, there's high interest rates, or if you have good credit, the interest rate drops.
Now tell them the difference between if I'm going to buy a car, the difference in the interest rate between I'll say if you have a credit score, because you don't need a very high credit score to purchase a car. So say I have 528 on the one end, and I want to buy a car. And then I have 750 on the other end of my credit score, and I want to buy a car. Tell them what the difference in the interest rate is going to be.
The credit score is a start from around 330, which is the low end. Anything below 500, they won't even look at you. On the high end, which is rare, but there are people that have 850 and higher. But typically 850 is going to be near the max that you're going to have.
That's more of the
pristine, top of the line. It doesn't mean that you're wealthy. Just means you use your credit well over a long period of time.
Okay.
My father is 82. He has an 850 score.
And you can't go no higher than that.
Yeah, but he's never really he's never used his credit card much, and he's only done car payments. And they always been paid on time.
So is it good to not?
But tell them, before you move on to your question, tell them what the difference between the interest rate, the estimate. If you have a low credit score of like 500 or so.
Credit cards interest rates are
a car. Yes.
I mean, a good interest rate today is around a brand new car would be around 1.9, 2.9% with good credit, 700 or better.
Okay, now what if you down there?
If you're in the 528 range, you're going to be around 7% to 14%. I have a client before bankruptcy, that was in the 14% range.
So that's important.
That's the entrance of what he'll be paying. 14%.
When you finance a car, so you go to the car dealership
At that rate of credit.
Right. So if she bought a $10,000 car, it's at $140 a year. No, that's $1,000. That's $1,400 a year in interest.
Whereas if you have really good
principal, they call it principal. The $10,000 is the principal. As you're paying it, the principal gets reduced. So if it's at $8,000, it's 14% on that $8,000.
It's always going to be the 14% through the life of your loan for the car.
Right.
But if you had that good credit, it's only going to be 1% through the life of the loan of your car. And usually the way
they like they will prefer the person with bad credit than the person with good credit because that's what they get in the interest.
It's kind of like a double-edged sword because they want the good credit person because they know that guy's going to pay off his car and he probably going to get a higher level of car. He probably going to be the one to come in to get the Porsche, whatever it is up there. They want you too because you're going to come in. You might get the RAV or what's a lower end car? I don't know nothing about cars, but you might get the Honda Accord or whatever. But they get to tax you on your Honda Accord, and you may end up paying more for your Honda Accord than they paying for their Porsche.
Well, it could be the same monthly payment because your credit score is lower, so then your monthly payment's higher.
Your monthly payment's higher, but while they tax you with that 14%, that's going to bring you up to what the heck he's paying for that high-end luxury car.
Yes.
So this is how the credit affects your life.
You miss a payment, we talked about how that affects your credit score, but in addition to that, they have late fees. So we need to bring that up.
$10 a month is a late fee on mine.
So usually a late fee could be a set amount of $35, $50. Yeah. Sometimes it's 1% of your loan amount.
Mine is $10.
Sometimes it could be based on your loan amount. So if you have a revolving credit of $10,000 and you used the whole $10,000 in credit so far and you missed that payment, then you're paying $100 just for missing that payment. On top of having to still make the payment, and then it creates you being over your limit. You have a $10,000 credit line, the late fee kicks you over the limit. Now you get an over the limit fee.
It's like an overdraft.
With a late fee, like an overdraft in your bank account. Yeah. So there's overdraft fees, there's late fees that accrue, and then you're paying that off first before you even get to your interest.
Then the interest, and then the principal.
And
the principal is the actual cost of the car.
Right.
So you're paying all these fees.
Right.
Before you even get to pay for the cost of the car.
Right. So credit could be good, but some people, like when you were talking about first receiving it, we overspend. We become impulsive with our spending. Okay. We decide, hey, I have this credit, they gave it to me, I'm just going to go get the latest sneakers.
Whatever.
Or latest
So I got a question for you.
Whatever it is.
Don't take it personal. Now that you know how to deal with credit, have you mastered on how to deal with it yourself, or you have your particular issues with it at times throughout your life?
Well, that's where self-employment will come into. So there are times where my credit, what that typically means in self-employment, if I'm working at a job, I get paid either weekly or every other week. In self-employment, I have to collect my funds from a customer, typically a client. And that could be an ebb and flow, meaning I can some days collect highly in one given month and not so great the next month. So there are times I need to use credit. That's why I know when my monthly payments are due. And it's so important because there are times I have to extend myself, particularly because I do a lot of tax work. I could be doing very well in the spring because money's coming in.
So it's up and down.
So it can be up and down. So I use a lot of credit come December, not because Christmas is around or any other holiday. It's because I'm coming up to my busy time and the cash flow is not as heavy for me in December as it is when beginning part of the year. So then I have to manage my money in a
I asked that because sometimes you got people that act like they don't got problems on this.
Oh, I've had problems with credit.
Yeah.
We all
I mean,
gonna have
everybody
problems.
has problems.
I say you got people that act like that.
You got
No,
people, but you got people in the hood that act like they ain't got no damn problems.
Yeah.
We all got
I've
problems.
had wealthy clients who've had problems with credit. No different than anyone who, like I said, the person who ended up in bankruptcy, having problems with credit. It affects us all.
Happens.
It happens.
And you got to understand, once you get to a certain, you have to maintain. Once you get to a certain point, you have to maintain your lifestyle. So you could get in trouble just because you bought a house, you got the better car. Because just think about it, David. In our business, like, people are looking at us, and I know people will look down on you, and I think this is very wrong because you can't show them that you are making all this money.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So they get a perception of you based on how you look, and
Right.
and that causes some lawyers. I don't give a damn, and I'll take my candy. Y'all can think whatever y'all want about me.
We don't consider damn as a Christian.
Oh, okay, thank you. So damn's not a curse word.
So you excuse.
So thank you. But you have some lawyers who will put on the facade because they expect the clients
It's not just
expect
lawyers,
it.
right? It could be anyone.
In whatever business, like,
Right.
and essentially, if you got to give your money to somebody, a lot of people think that they have to present a certain picture, or else you're not going to bring them the money. And there's truth to that.
Right. So when I speak of my wealthy clients who are multimillionaires, they need to they prefer to maintain that lifestyle, and even though they have problems, they'll go out and extend their credit and extend it too far, expecting a big event to happen, a big transaction, a big business deal to evolve.
They have their office has to look right, their house has to look right.
To maintain entertainment for other business activities. So I've had when I say big clients, multi-million dollar value clients, having to deal with debt consolidation. Debt consolidation meaning take all your debts from different credit cards, revolving credit, houses, and try and put it into one big loan. And when they do that, that means you're reducing,
Oh, it says share.
you're reducing your interest
Push
rates.
share on mine. Push share.
We extended.
Yes, we extended. So we've extended ourselves,
So
and
you just can't hit the button off.
I don't know why you got this. What the heck is this thing with this
that's
app?
going on to the-
What is this? Wait, what the hell is this though? Is what I'm trying to figure out. Oh, what the fuck? I mean, what the?
Pieces of candy.
What the heck was that?
Carry on. I don't know. I didn't see it.
Oh, MG. I'm going to get a whole handful of candy on that one. Golly. Y'all didn't see what I saw. That's some nonsense right there. Okay, cause we extended ourselves. David, we thank you. We thank you for coming. We want you to come back because you got like 4 or 5 things here that we didn't even get to. Who needs to build good credit? You got 10 warning signs of credit trouble. What is a credit report?
A lot, but we
need to slow it down.
This out, and then we got to do what was brought up, mainly how to fix credit.
Yeah, that's.
And then how, like he says.
No, but we need a whole session on how to fix the credit. Cause I gotta tell my own personal. I gotta learn my own personal story, and like I said, we're not gonna. Since you know people who fix credit. You can only go so far in your information.
Correct.
Okay, but I'm gonna tell y'all everything based on my own personal situation.
That just means I have agreements with subcontractors that I can't disclose.
If you want to maintain good relationships
with people that help my clients, that's what she means by that.
Absolutely. So we're not in the business of trying to make David lose money to edify our existence.
Is this a situation where he could advertise to build more clients?
Well, he doesn't do credit repair, but he has relationships. So he needs to maintain those relationships. So if he tells all the tricks of the trade, then that can impact his own business as a person who deals with real estate, David, right?
No,
Yeah.
my question was, Because if he's a real estate, people that's looking, that mean he may be into hiring a real estate.
Yeah, tell me your number
or
again.
something like that. Is it just the time for him to advertise himself?
Yes,
too?
promote yourself, sir.
Okay, so before we go into that, we are going to still one day talk about.
No, you're coming back. You got to go to California next
but,
week.
But I want to explain our topics. So we're going to talk about cleaning up credit.
Okay.
Talk about how to use it towards your advantage. We're also going to talk about eventually not just using credit for landlord-tenant situations, but for those that may want to buy a house.
Yes.
Because we need to get into.
And I got a story for that too.
So she can give her story.
Yes.
And then have to eat more candy.
And then let me tell you something. I'm gonna give you a quick. I'm gonna give you a tease into that whole issue of buying the house. First of all, it's two things, and you're gonna agree with me, David, right? You got to get your credit right.
You got to get your credit right.
And you got to pay your taxes.
So you telling me you can't?
Am I right? No. Am I right?
Income taxes to the United States government.
You got to pay them.
To the IRS.
Unless you got
when
cash.
You say pay them whatever you have before you decided to make the decision to buy a house.
No, we always report our full taxes, Hamid. We don't do more at one occasion and less at another. We are always truthful about the reporting of our taxes. However, the point was this. When you go to purchase a house, you have to make sure that your taxes are filed. You cannot purchase a house unless you're throwing all that cash out. You cannot purchase a house unless you file taxes
They
and
will
pay
verify your
taxes.
income through your
Correct.
tax return.
Say that again.
The mortgage company, which usually is a bank, will verify your income based on your income tax filings, meaning what tax, when you file for your taxes for a given year. Where in 2019, most people are filing for a 2018 tax year. Here in this country, we base our income taxes from January 1st through December 31st. So whatever money you made, and it doesn't matter if you made your money through legal means of working for someone or being a contractor and being paid, you are to report illegal money that you made. So if you had a bribe, this is how they get politicians. Politicians accept bribes. Obviously, they don't report that. They keep the money. They do whatever.
And that's how they get in trouble.
That's how they get in trouble. So once they get caught for the bribe, they bring in the IRS and slap them with tax fraud.
So the purpose of that person not reporting the bribe, that's what gets them in trouble. But if you reported the bribe,
you get in trouble anyway.
Yeah,
you get in more trouble.
You still get in trouble.
If you don't report if you don't report the bribe, you get tax problems. If you report the bribe, you just got bribe problems. And we're going to talk about
the IRS does not release tax returns to the FBI or Department of Justice unless it is some other criminal behavior among that person.
And we're going to talk about white collar crime as well, because that's dipping into my area of expertise. But we're going to have David back. Thank you, David, for coming. You got to come back. You're going to come back and let the people know what they need.
Because when we get into credit and we dig in more, we're going to talk about how they look at your bank statements.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you too.
And how y'all be out there kiting, paying what? Y'all know what would be. Yeah, you don't know what kiting is. That means that you open up all these bank accounts and you use one to pay the next to pay the next. That's called kiting.
White collar crime.
That's white collar crime. Because y'all think, a lot of people think that criminals, the definition of criminal is just people, that do robbery, hustling, drugs, murder, and all that stuff. But we got some serious white collar criminals. They call them
white collar crimes than they doing right
They
now.
call them white collar crimes. Okay, so we gotta go. We ain't gonna stay here no longer. But David has promised. You promise you coming back, right?
Yeah. Because I have a good white collar crime.
Okay, we got white collar crime stories for you. David's gonna come back. Hamid is very mad at his auntie. I'm not even accepting that. I'm not accepting that title from you. I'm your big sister.
Okay. You can do that. You can go.
Although I'm definitely in auntie range. I don't want to
change every year. Auntie.
You twins are the love of my life.
Talk about what debts are dischargeable.
Right. Oh yeah, we got a lot of stuff to cover.
So what's the next topic for next week?
So David can't be here next week. So next week, what I wanted to try to get into is the next topic will be, Yeah, that's why we're still talking. What you thought we just was sitting here just talking to each other? Oh, okay. We're gonna talk about. Our next topic. I'll have it figured out on Tuesday. I will post it every Tuesday. So if you look at on Facebook, Be Yond Reasonable Doubt podcast series. On Tuesday, the new topic, next week's topic will be out. And if you look at BYRD podcast on Instagram, I'll post it there. And this episode we're going to post on YouTube, and you can find that. Shakira, you gotta remember all this. Might give me a headache. We're gonna have Shakira tell y'all everything the next time that we that she comes and tells you the mission statement, because Auntie can't remember all this crap. I'm getting too old. So look out Tuesday for our new topic. So since David can't be here, I'm thinking about something more on the lines. Either we're going to finish up that Miranda about the voluntary statements, or we're going to get into that whole thing about when you have to speak to the police when they stop you. What are your obligations? But until that time, we're going to rock out with It's Sin Baby's latest or part of her repertoire. And y'all remember with them jailhouse calls, please, please, please stop asking the person who is locked up what happened.
Yeah, Auntie, don't ask nephew that.
Do I get to complain about my son using my credit and screwing it up?
Yeah, you get to. Oh, heck yeah! And then we're gonna talk about identity theft too.
No, you can't put your son's name out there. You can't expose.
He could put his son's name out there.
I'll put the name out there.
Unless you think your son gonna sue you for defamation of character, so if that's the case, then we hold up.
You explaining that? Do we fall into problems? The problem I fell into was letting him use a credit card of mine.
Oh, but it wasn't intentional.
Wouldn't that be irresponsible?
Irresponsible of me and him.
Well, I
trusted him, and he abused. I gave him one
trust.
that had a very, very low credit line, but he still needed his music.
Oh, he into that?
He was buying all that music.
What? And video games too?
Yeah, blew up my card.
All right, David, say goodbye. Thank you for coming.
Goodbye, all. Thank you.
He's coming back. Say hi, bye, Hamid. And bye, y'all. I love y'all.
Nice. Woo! Whatever you got in that cup.
Yo, we still on the Mevo. Is you like, what is wrong with you?
I was gonna say something crazy
because they still got to hear the artist's song, the last part of the song. You bugging? Don't push no buttons. Trying to blow up my spot.
Drinking that water, right?
Why you act like I don't act like this all the time, though? That's what I'm trying to say. He know I act like this all. He know me longer. No, you know me longer, huh? Now everybody get me candy.
I personally don't like credit. I like to be paying.
No, you're right.
I don't like that. I don't want to borrow nothing from nobody. But
everybody just can't pay for cash.
Yeah, what I do, if I can't afford it, I'm not getting it. I'm gonna deal with this.
A lot of people think like that.
That's how I feel. You could talk crazy about my car and what. This is what I could afford, and it's getting me right here to this point.
I mean, I kind of feel the same way. I'm hoping that I could transition into not having a car in the future, and that I could just take the Uber.
I don't want to wake up on my brain that I gotta pay this before a certain time. I don't want to wake up like that.
Yeah, but one day you're gonna want a house, huh, man? When you settle down and want to have like a nuclear family is what they call it. Y'all
I could buy a house without having a nuclear family.
Well, you're right. I know. But I'm just saying, some people aspire to have a house. Shakira, you want a house, right? Okay.
But you gotta have credit to get a house.
Yes.
Nah.
Unless you could throw that. Now, what house you got?
That be a good date.
8 o'clock.
I gotta take my picture.
Oh yeah, we gotta taking pictures. Her TikTok is sitting straight up. Oh dang! Ooh. Her girls are sitting. Come on, take this picture, girlfriend. She made me want to. Yeah, my girls is, they just, they auntie status and shit. All right. Okay, so.
You taking a picture with David?
Yeah, of course we're taking a picture with David. Yes, absolutely. Bye y'all who's still rocking with us on Mevo. We're doing this so we can put up the recording later on. I love y'all. Say bye, David.
Bye.
Amit. Alright.
Now can I talk?
Yeah, you can talk.
You got 3 shots in that cup?